What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you for joining us for the 10th episode of Sports from All Angles. And like always, we have Francis Mandrala, center stage. To my right, we have
Michael. What's up?
And then to my left, we have
the Don Dada of all Dons.
Okay, so today we're going to do a very wide range of sports, but we're going to start off with baseball. Just to let you guys know, Stanton for the Miami Marlins is now at 57.
57?
Home runs, of course.
Okay.
So he has a shot at 60. And Chris Sales, the pitcher for the Boston Red Sox, now has 18 games with 10-plus strikeouts, which is the second most in Boston Red Sox history. Now he has 300-plus K. 300-plus K for the season, which is second only behind Pedro Martinez, and the way he's playing, he might actually get that record. Now going to the pitcher for... Wait. You going to say something, Mike?
Honestly, I wanted to ask you what K stood for.
Oh, strikeouts.
Oh, okay. I learned something now.
Yeah. You know what a strikeout is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. And then moving on to the Washington team, Max Scherzer, their pitcher, now has 4 straight seasons of 250-plus Ks, which is the second longest, only behind the legendary Randy Johnson.
Randy Johnson. I've actually heard of him.
Yeah. And
RJ.
his record is 6 straight seasons with 250 Ks. So that is impressive.
Right, incredible.
Yeah, so whenever you could get 2+ seasons, that's no matter what, that's impressive. But once you hit that 3 and 4, and now he's at 4, which is getting into unprecedented territory.
Right on the verge of doing something.
Yeah. And I remember a couple weeks ago how we talked about the 2 rookies slugging the home runs, Cody Bellinger and then Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
Cody is now at 39, but Aaron Judge is at 47 now. Yes. And actually, now thinking about it, with the latest update, he's at 48. Yeah.
Dude, how did he catch up?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that, bro. The last 19 games, 11 home runs. 11 home runs.
Man, he...
That's insane, right, bro?
It is. 11 home runs.
Yeah.
And how many games?
19. So over a 162-game season, he's batting a home run every other game. So if it was possible to keep that pace up, he would have over 80 home runs.
Dude, I couldn't fathom that.
So he's a rookie doing that crap, so that's crazy. So I just wanted to give an update on the home run stuff. Stan is killing it. He still has a shot at 60. The 2 pitchers, Chris Sale and Max Scherzer, are killing it with the Ks. And then Aaron Judge, man. He's having an up and down season, but the first half he was killing it. He had a little slump, but now he's back at it. So 11 home runs in 19 games is incredible. So.
Oh, how about that, man?
Okay, so we're gonna move on to
NBA.
Yes. Now go on, Daniel.
What's going on, guys? You know, the Don Dada of all Dons, you know. But so far, of course, everybody knows the NBA has not officially started yet, but
Yep.
it will in a couple of weeks.
Can't
So,
wait.
you know, we're just gonna talk about the few off-season trades, you know?
Yeah.
So let's start off with the big Kyrie trade.
Yeah, because for somehow, some way, Michael did not know about this.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was really in the dark, guys.
You know? So how do you guys feel about him leaving? Let's just start off by how you guys feel about him leaving Cleveland. So like, tell me how y'all feel.
I completely understand, just because he was sold before LeBron James came that Cleveland was going to be his team. And then when he signed the max contract a week later, who comes to his team? LeBron James. So I don't find it a big deal, especially since he wanted to keep it private, and supposedly some of LeBron James' people leaked it out. So,
Well, how I feel about the Kyrie trade, I don't have anything against him for it. Honestly, what you said was exactly how I felt about it. Because I know he was working hard to get out of LeBron's shadow even before that. Mm-hmm. But to the Celtics, though, I don't know how I feel about that more so than the trade.
I agree. But the only thing is, he really didn't want to go to the Celtics, but they ended up trading him to them just because, as Daniel is going to shortly mention, because of everything Cleveland got in for return.
Exactly.
And I hate the Celtics because I'm a Lakers fan, but man, he looks good in that white and green.
I gotta see that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. But
Nice
anyway,
transition.
But let's talk about the trade. Okay.
Yeah.
So far, the Kyrie trade and this little switch up, as you guys know, Kyrie for Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, and some center and named
some European.
Yeah, Zeke or Zeke or something like that. I'm pretty sure I'm close.
I'm not even going to try to butcher that.
And also Boston's 2018 first round pick.
Wait, is it first or second?
First round pick.
Okay.
And then also, Boston also got Gordon Hayward.
But they didn't get that in the trade. They got
No.
him in free agency.
Yeah, they got him as a free agent.
Which was a really smart move.
Yeah. But it might also be a bad trade for Cleveland because
Okay.
Isaiah Thomas, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
also has a bad hip injury,
Which
might mess up his game
Yeah, because it's supposedly worse now than previously.
in the playoffs and everything.
Yeah,
So he says it's not that big, but you never really know until you actually play.
yeah. So this is
Right.
a big. It's a big if proposition because if Isaiah Thomas is the same as last year, Cleveland completely got the best deal. They got an all-star, they got a defensive stud, and they got a pick in return for just one player. But if he is injured, then depending on who they pick in the draft, then this could be a completely lopsided pick on the other end. I mean, trade on the other end, you know, because then Boston actually knew what they were doing. So,
But let's move on to the next trade.
which is very recent, like over the past couple days,
Yes,
right?
this is very recent, but this is a big mind blower because you would never think. But
More so because of the team he went to, right?
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. But guess what, guys? Carmelo Anthony
It's finally not a
is
Nick.
not a Nick anymore. So sorry, Spike Lee. Don't know what game you're going to, but
That is freaking hilarious.
Yo, they don't have any stars. Well,
They got
Porzingis,
Porzingis.
but
they're probably gonna have to pick somebody to go around him. But he got traded to OKC. He's with the big dog Westbrook. And also, let's not forget, Paul George has also went over there. Mm-hmm. So this matchup might work out.
and it might
It
not.
might not at the same time.
I don't see that team chemistry being spot on, man.
Okay. Before we go into that, Daniel, how do you feel about what OKC gave up for Carmelo? Do you think they gave up too much, or because
Well, let's talk about who they traded.
Okay.
They gave up Enes Kanter,
Yep.
Doug McDermott,
Yep.
and a 2018 second round pick. Now,
So basically, 3 players for 1.
2 players. 2.
Whoa, the pick. I'm counting that as
Well,
a
yeah.
player.
Okay, yeah. But I mean, Doug McDermott,
In Chicago, he was,
he was
pretty
big,
good.
but in
OKC,
OKC, he didn't really show up.
Yeah,
And
as
that's
we
what
were
we-
talking about when we first started the show for the playoffs, he was absent completely.
Yeah,
So
exactly. So he might be He might be an okay spot for the Knicks so he can show his talent more. But you never really know. And for Kanter, he's a good player. I feel like they might have lost a good center.
Yeah, and
They might have lost a good center.
I
mean,
agree.
do they still got what is
they
it?
still got Steven Adams, which is
Okay.
So my only thing though is, I know Carmelo is a more gifted offensive player, but he's
Yeah.
also much older, and Kanter was never known for his defense, and Anthony isn't known for his defense. So in my opinion,
I mean, you're looking at it as an aspect of the comparison of them two, but you also got to look at the aspect of who's their backup center.
Steven Adams. Well,
No,
Steven.
backup center.
Oh, nobody now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to think about that. They
And
don't-
another thing is they have 2 small forwards now. So somebody's gonna have to play power forward.
Well, that's what I was gonna go into.
Oh, okay.
But like, if they do this lineup good, you can move Paul George to the 2. If anything, I would say Paul George to the 2, Westbrook at the 1, Melo at the 3, and then
Whoever's their 4.
I can't remember, and then Adams of
as
course. But if you do want to go, that's if they want to go all big, of course. But Paul George plays defense, and he plays defense really good.
I'm not worried about him. I'm just not worried about Westbrook needs the ball, Carmelo needs the ball, and Paul George is known as an isolation player.
Westbrook, he played with KD. He doesn't need the ball that much.
But we see how that relationship turned out.
Yeah, but that's on KD. KD wasn't, well, let's not get into that. But I feel like Westbrook can easily score his 20, 25 if he wants to. And then, of course, we all know as a triple-double god as he is right now, he can get his 10 assists.
But, bro, my only thing to counteract that, though, Westbrook is like a James Harden. He gets his 10-plus assists, but he's normally getting his assist late in the shot clock, you know? That's my only problem.
But they... As Westbrook being the star of this team, they also have to play their role.
Okay, this goes into another thing though. Like, Mike, do you think Paul George and Carmelo are going to have the nuts to actually give up? Like, do you think they're going to actually let Westbrook be the lead on the team? And
if they win a ring, I feel like they should.
They should, but it's not as easy as like when Durant goes to Golden State, you know.
Carmelo doesn't have anything to prove. Let's.
But he does need a ring though. That's what he needs.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He needs, if he wants a ring, he gonna have to take his little standards down a little bit. He doesn't have to score 40, 30 points. He doesn't have to. He has a team who can actually help him score another 20.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have to anymore. So if he wants a ring, he definitely has to at least score 25, of course. That's the minimum he has to score.
I agree.
And like 8 rebounds.
I just don't see a lot of smart decisions being made in the future because you got two players that were superstars from where they came from.
Yep.
Not to mention Russell had a very big year.
Yeah.
And I believe he wants to continue some of that. At least to, get them back on track of heading toward the finals and whatnot. But I'm not even gonna say finals. Heading toward the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
My only counter argument for that, it really wasn't Westbrook who failed the Thunder last year. It was their bench. Because the moment he would come out, they would get outscored by double digits. So now you technically could have at least one of those 3 players on the court at all times, and you will always have the potential to score.
Oh, I agree with that. I didn't mean for it to sound like, Russell Westbrook was the reason that they didn't make it past. I'm just saying that he set a precedent for how his game is.
Yeah.
And
you're worried about how it's going to flow with these 2 other players who are known for isolation basketball more than anything.
Yeah.
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 Well, Paul George doesn't really play isolation. Carmelo, on the other hand, definitely does.
No, but Paul George technically was still in the top 10 last year. He was 9th.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Even after his injury.
Yeah, so.
I mean, I feel like this could be a good matchup. It is, but it also could be, of course, a downfall. It definitely could, of course. It all depends on how they play with each other.
And what you said with Paul George going to the 2, Melo going to the... That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A big man team like that, you can't stop it.
Yeah,
like, what shooting guard is going to stop Paul George from scoring?
You just got to hope that Melo was... He really stays in good shape and he boxes the fuck out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
I mean, but not only that, but even when he was at the Knicks, he played the 4. So it's not a problem for him to go big, Carmelo to go big. He gets bored, so.
I agree, but we also have to remember this is a Carmelo. How old is he now exactly? He's
like 34, 35, something like that.
Yeah. And
33, 34.
he only spent 1 year in college, so he has those freaking LeBron James miles, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing.
but LeBron James, let's be real.
Okay,
here.
he's a god. He doesn't count. That dude
body
is just
his physique and everything is perfect.
Yeah. He has monster athleticism.
Yeah, like his body right now, like he stays up to shape definitely with his body.
He was in good enough shape. He could have played in the NFL.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, remember the lockout, and they were talking about he was potentially going to play for the Browns.
Yeah, yeah. So.
I
if
really
he
could've
wanted
seen
to,
that.
I think he still could with his especially for the Browns.
It's the hops he can catch.
Dude, but if you look at his body, this is why I always say it's unfair to compare him to Jordan physically. Because Jordan's body could never compete with LeBron James' body. His body was sculpted. It's not human. It's sculpted by a human. You know what I'm saying? But
He's in the gym like 24/7. All right. After every game, he'd ice his knees before going to events. Okay, he would be late to an event just to make sure his body is good enough to play the next game.
Smart man.
All right, that's how you got to do it. All right, you want those endorsements, you got to play and treat your body like you want those endorsements forever.
Right.
But other than that,
nothing really busy, right?
one more.
Oh, you just want a follow-up question, right?
Of course. Let's these big teams, guys. Of course, like the Heat. Let's say about the Heat when LeBron went there. Do you can they is they gonna take a while to come together?
Okay, first off, with that question, you're implying they have a chance to spend more than a year together, which I automatically don't think is going to happen. Because I honestly believe George is going to the Lakers no matter what.
Oh yeah,
and Westbrook.
I think so. Westbrook, I think he wants to go to the Lakers too.
Yeah, depending on the rumors, and supposedly the Lakers are imagining a ball at point, Westbrook at shooting, Paul George at 3, with their second-year draft pick from Duke 2 years ago, Ingram at 4, with Lopez at 5. So
that means
they don't
Jordan
have
Clarkson
the time
coming off the bench.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I literally want to shed tears hearing that lineup. That lineup is just nice.
And the reason why this lineup could work, Ball does not need to score, and he's not. He's truly,
a versatile.
Yeah.
He's a pass-first point guard, which is rare in today's league. So that actually could work. So just to answer your question, bro, I don't think they have the time, even if they wanted to where they need to get it done this year to find the chemistry.
I mean, even that first year with LeBron, D-Wade, and Chris Bosh, they lost like 15 games first before they actually got in that hot streak.
But also, don't forget, that's also the East. That was
right.
The East.
Definitely right.
This is the West now with Chris Paul on the Rockets. This is the West with San Antonio Spurs. This is the West with the freaking Big Four in Golden State.
Yeah, next question. Do you think this team that they just created is enough to beat the top 3 teams in the West, or in the one team in the East, like the Cavs? Do you think they can beat the Warriors, the Spurs? Like, do you think even the Rockets, with Chris Paul going over there, do you think they can?
I want to answer the Cavs, and then Mike, I want you to answer the West. I honestly do believe if Isaiah Thomas is not healthy, they could, on paper, beat Cleveland.
They also have Kendrick Perkins back. Just let you know.
Okay.
They have Kendrick Perkins back, and they have another 7'3" center.
Who, the Cavs?
Yep.
I still do. Carmelo, Westbrook, and Paul George can outbeat LeBron James and Kevin Love. But this is a big
Paul
if.
George on LeBron, that would be good.
And who's going to guard Carmelo? Kevin Love? He has no defense.
He's not.
And
he's
then
not
they
fast
have
enough.
And bro, even if Isaiah Thomas is healthy,
his body physique is not going to be with Westbrook.
Yeah. So they have a legitimate shot. Now, before we go to Michael, I love how you said compete against the top 3, because you're automatically assuming they're not even top 3 still.
Not yet. Well, of course they have to show themselves. Show up
to prove it. Yeah.
So,
what do you think, Mike?
The first thing that I thought on my head, will Westbrook stay healthy that whole season? Because he racked up a lot of minutes.
No, he didn't actually. He actually only had 34.8 minutes, which is great.
Out of like 40 something.
Yeah, this was actually one of his lowest minutes per game for his career since I believe his second year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so their coach. So now, theoretically speaking, he might be able to rack up even fewer minutes
With those 3 players.
Yeah.
They might, tell you the truth, they might do what Cavs did. And they might have like Kyrie or like have like Westbrook go off in the first quarter. It's his game the first quarter. Second quarter it could be Paul George. Third quarter it can be Carmelo. And whoever's the hottest, it'll go between that on the fourth quarter.
No, that's what I was talking about. Where now Westbrook, he doesn't have to worry about when he comes out of the game. So now, like, let's say his team is up by 5 and he already has 32 minutes. Now he could feel good about coming off the court. And he doesn't feel like he has to put in 40 minutes this game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
When you talk about it from that perspective, I could very much see them being a contender.
Yeah.
could.
They could, but it also, once again, it just has to show.
Yeah,
Definitely
because
have to show.
going against the Dynamo, Golden State.
But that's the question. At the end of the day, no matter how good the Spurs are or the Rockets, do you see them competing against the Warriors? And I just don't. Because they're still, no matter what, the Warriors are always going to have somebody that the Thunder can't guard. And then that's relying on all 3 of those players are playing stellar defense.
Not only that, but OKC's backup also.
Yeah. Do they even have any true... Because they traded Oladipo for George.
Yep.
Oh,
They got rid of McDermott. They got rid of Kantar. So now they really are a starter. Unless they pick some pieces up, it's a top 5, and then that's really it. So
Exactly.
Where the Warriors, they got even deeper this year. So that's going to be...
Yeah, they got Swaggy P as backup.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Another offensive weapon.
Another offensive 3-shooter.
So what I'm hearing in my head is they're gonna have to rely on some people to just be off. Some games.
Yes. And as the Cavs showed in the finals, you're going to be lucky if they're off for one game. And you're going to have to be firing on all cylinders that one game they're off.
Yeah, so look for some NBA rules to get in the way.
But, well, for now, that's enough for the NBA.
Okay.
We're going to transfer over to my man, Mike.
With the NFL.
Yeah, I'm going to bring you news about the NFL, guys. Cincinnati Bengals against the Green Bay Packers.
Which we watched, and that was a fascinating game. Go on.
Yeah, it was 27-24. The Packers won.
First overtime win for Aaron Rodgers ever, which is...
This man was 0-7.
Including playoffs.
Including playoff losses.
Good job, Aaron.
Of course, it came against the Bengals, so...
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about Jacksonville Jaguars against Baltimore.
Bro, can we just... What the...
It baffled me, too.
Professional. A couple weeks ago, we talked about how they dusted Houston.
Yeah.
And here they go, dusting another team that's looking good. And it's just... What was the final score?
44-7. Oh, man.
We're just going...
Bortles, he threw for 20 out of 31.
Holy shit.
244 yards, 4 touchdowns. Dang. Grant has 6 carries, 75 yards. Bortles, man, you really showing some potential, dude.
And you remember how I said Fournette is going to be run into the ground? I was completely wrong.
Yeah. Gotta talk about the Bills. Buffalo Bills versus the Denver Broncos. We won 26-16. Tyrod, he was 20 of 26, 213 yards.
I'm not a Bills fan, just let you
2
guys know,
TDs. And Matthews, he had 3 receptions and 61 yards. I believe everybody believed that Buffalo was going to go in and not even have a chance.
Yeah, we definitely did.
Especially because of their Denver's defense.
Yeah.
And previous
week.
Yeah.
I just want to point out, this is why I'm a Buffalo fan, but I freaking hate their guts. They lose against teams they should beat, and then the teams they should lose against, they win. They scored 3 points against the Panthers last week, and they put up 26 against the Broncos. It just
doesn't make sense.
Not to mention about 6 sacks last week.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We talked about that. Mm-hmm.
And
6
we
sacks.
still lost.
And we
How,
still
did you look up
lost.
how many sacks they had this week?
No.
Oh, okay. But yeah, Is there a chance they might go have a winning season this year when everybody thought they were tanking?
Whenever somebody asks that question, it just goes downhill.
Just to let you guys know, the Bills will not win another game.
Some people still have optimism though, but we'll see. We'll see.
Never know.
Atlanta Falcons and the Detroit Lions.
Who won that?
The Falcons won 30-26.
Dun dun dun.
Man,
Wow, that was a really good game.
yeah.
4 points.
Stafford's pass to Tate was ruled to be just short of the goal line in the final seconds.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
And the Lions they seem really good, so that must be heartbreaking. That would have been another fourth quarter comeback for him.
Dude, man, that crushed me. But yeah, they just had to hold and win that game. Cleveland Browns, Indianapolis Colts. The Colts won 31-28.
By the way, that must have been that is the worst game of the week. 2-0-2 teams, and what was the final score?
31-28.
God, dude, the Browns must suck. How did you lose to the Colts?
I mean, it's the Colts. You never know with those
God.
guys.
And Andrew Luck didn't play that game, right?
Right. And Brissett, he was 17-24, 259 yards, 1 TD, 2 rushing TDs.
I feel bad for the Browns fans. They just, even when they have a winning season, they miss the playoffs. So
Yeah.
Right.
And Hilton, he had 7 receptions, 153 yards,
Hilton is
1 touchdown. Man, let's talk about the Texans and the Patriots.
Dun, dun,
Patriots
dun.
36 to Texans 33.
I hate
My
you,
man
Mike,
Brady,
right now.
my man Brady, 25-35,
How many touchdowns?
5 touchdowns, and 378 yards. Cooks, he had 5 receptions, 131 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
I just want to point out the Chiefs are without a doubt the best team in the league because they destroyed the Patriots, and the Patriots are just clobbering everybody else. So
I mean, the Panthers beat the Bills. Hello.
I just want to add that Brady threw to Cooks for a 25-yard TD with 23 seconds left for the win. I just wanted to throw that out there.
because Houston, they were winning the majority of the game. Clowney had a forced fumble that he returned for a touchdown. So they're 1-2, but they're the best 1-2 team in the league, in my opinion. The Texans.
Yeah, okay. I can see that.
Because that was in New England, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Any other noticeable games that you noticed? Wow, that's redundant.
Any other noticeable
Kansas
games that
City
you noticed?
Chiefs and the Chargers. Chiefs won 24-10.
Yeah, they're looking real. By the way, I do want to point something out. Their running back, who's a rookie, for the 3rd straight game had 100+ scrimmage yards. That includes rushing and receiving. So he's the first rookie running back since Forte to have 3 straight games, and he's the first running back period to have a 50+ touchdown of any kind in 3 straight games. So every game so far he's had a 50+ touchdown. So he's explosive and he's giving new life to that offense. So
Yeah, something to watch out for.
Yeah.
Something to watch out for. Guys, any specific game you wanted to know about?
I don't think because the Giants game we're recording during the Giants game, but I wanted to point out 2 things. First off, Aaron Rodgers became the quickest quarterback to 300 passing touchdowns, and he did that in 144 games, which is easily the record. While at the same time, he has the fewest interceptions while getting to that milestone. So if in a perfect world he was able to come out of college and start right away in a similar fashion to Peyton Manning, and he was able to stay healthy, he would without a doubt own every single passing record, because the way he piles up passing yards and passing touchdowns, especially compared to how few interceptions, he statistically speaking is the best quarterback of all time in terms of how he the yards he gets per game and the touchdowns per game and stuff like that.
His proficiency, yeah.
Yes.
I salute you for that, Aaron Rodgers.
And then the second thing I want to focus on the Giants overall, because we recorded last week before they played on Monday. For the fourth time in 5 years, they started off 0-2. The previous 15 years before that, they started off 0-2 just once. So the Giants are a hot mess, and it's not looking up.
That sounds great to me. I don't like the Giants.
Hater, because Giants beat the Patriots. I just gotta. And then Odell Beckham, say what you will about him. He is not the youngest, but he's taken the fewest amount of games to get to 300 receptions. In just 45 games, he's gotten 300 plus receptions. So he is.
Yeah, that's undeniable right there. That's what's up.
Yeah. So he is the sole reason why the Giants have any offense right now and they have a shot in any game. Because it's really him and nobody else. Which is shocking considering they do have a talented offense.
Right.
That's all I have to say about that.
Okay.
Yeah, seems like everything's good.
The Bills won. Who the freak would have thought that?
Not me.
Not you, not us,
Not I.
not
said
my
the
grandma, not my uncle.
Anything else, guys, to add?
I want to talk about some college football.
All
Let's do this.
Okay, let's go. I'm a statistical nut. Okay, so basically every
Or
team...
he just might be a nut.
I'm not going to disagree with that. But moving back on to the show, folks. Okay, every team won that was ranked besides Florida State, Oregon, and then who was it? It was Mississippi State, only because they went up against Georgia, and Oklahoma State because they went up against TCU. But every top 25 team won this week. I do want to point out some noticeable great games. Oklahoma, the third-ranked team, barely beat Baylor, 49-41. That was a shootout, and for most of the game, Baylor was winning. And what's so impressive about this is because Baylor was entering the game 0-3, and they weren't looking good. And they almost pulled off a massive upset, but they still ended up losing. Penn State versus Iowa was an excellent old-school football game. The score was 21-19, and Penn State won the game on the last play of the game.
Oh,
Yes. That was the first half was ugly. It was rough. And the shocking thing, too, somehow Iowa only lost by 2 points, yet they were outgained in yardage by 300 yards. It was 579 to 279, something like that. So somehow they stayed in the game. And that I actually watched that game. That game was phenomenal. Well, phenomenal in terms of epicness and how it ended. USC, they just continued to get by, but they continue to win. They won 30-20 against California, so they kept that going. Florida.
What's up with Florida?
You remember last week how I said they just won on that lucky 60-plus yard Hail Mary?
Yeah.
This week, they won in the final seconds with less than a minute ago. They scored a touchdown to beat Kentucky 28-27.
Oh.
what is with last-minute wins?
Yo, and this is the thing. Not only for the second straight week, they had a last-second win. This is the 31st time that Florida has beaten Kentucky. 31st straight time. So for 31 straight years now, they've been in Kentucky. But what's so impressive about that is that of those 31 straight times, 4 times they were down in the fourth quarter or overtime and came back to win in dramatic fashion. So they have some luck going on their side with this streak.
Big luck.
I'm sorry.
Big.
Did you say 31?
Yeah, it's the 4th longest winning streak where one opponent has beaten another opponent. The longest is Notre Dame versus Navy, which was
I
like...
had a feeling you were going to say that.
Yeah. So, and then one last thing, just to give them some love. San Diego State had a good game where they won 28-24. And I just want to point out some noticeable games. Alabama demolished, crushed, vaporized. Use whatever word you want to use. They just There's all this talk about Vanderbilt, and this week they showed it. They outgained Vanderbilt, bro, by 599 yards.
Dang.
599 yards. No, they didn't have total offense of 599 yards. They outgained Vanderbilt by 599 yards.
599 yards.
And the score was 59-0. So,
Dude, I'm starting to sweat. That is crazy.
so that was a crazy game. As I pointed out, TCU ranked 16th went into Stillwater and beat Oklahoma State, who was the 6th ranked team. They won 44-31, which I'm actually a little surprised about. I'm an Oklahoma State fan, and I thought the Cowboys were going to win, but they did not. And Ohio State, my love is still for you, and they're finally getting some offense going. They won 54-21.
Oh, okay.
And I'll say the last noticeable game would be Georgia stumping on Mississippi State. They won 31-3. So that was a very dominant win itself, especially because, as me and Daniel talked about last week, Mississippi State just crushed LSU. So
Oh, yeah, that is right. Yeah.
so that no matter which way you look at it, Georgia's looking impressive this year. And yeah, Louisville, South Florida won. Both of their dual back quarterbacks are putting up ridiculous stats. And I want to show some love to the Penn State running back Barkley. He had 358 all-purpose yards in that Iowa game, where he had over 200 rushing yards, over 90 receiving yards, and 50 return yards. And for the season, he's averaging over 210 total scrimmage yards.
Barkley, you are a beast. You are a beast. Round of applause.
So some claps to that. And just to end off, I wanted to end off with a very, very dynamic game. Texas A&M defeated Arkansas for the 6th straight time, but they won in overtime, 50-43. And the best part too, they came back last second, kicked the field goal, and won in overtime. And that series, even though it's lopsided in terms of wins, it's so interesting because 3 of the last 4 games now have gone into overtime.
Right.
So even though it's more likely than not Texas A&M is going to win, those games are shootouts, and more likely than not they're going into overtime. So
I was about to say, a overtime game, man. I know it was live.
Right.
yeah. That's the only thing I I kind of dislike about college. There's so many good games. It's almost impossible to watch every single game.
Yeah.
So that's because some of these games, like, I would have loved to see the Alabama game just because it was such a dominant win. But at the same time, I would have loved to see TCU and then that Texas A&M game. So, but yeah, so that's anything you guys want to point out or...
It's been good sports lately. I hope it continues. Go Patriots.
Nah, wait a minute. Before this ends, let's not end on a go Patriots.
Patriots, right?
These guys, man.
Ain't no these guy, that guy.
Bro, why do you like the Patriots?
I like the Patriots because I've always been a Tom Brady fan.
Okay, so you don't like the Patriots. You like Tom Brady.
Tom Brady is the Patriots.
These are facts.
That is facts. But I like to get a little more deep with this. And Tom Brady is just Bill Belichick, bro. So
Touche.
I think that's a perfect way to end this show.
Sounds about right.
So thank you guys for joining us for yet another week. We're slowly getting a good groove for this show, so we appreciate you sticking through. Thank you for joining us yet again for the 10th episode. Like, we're going to release a video, but from here on out, we're going to have a little different dynamic, and we're going to be even more professional. So from here on out, we're going to start showing you that. And like always...
Like, subscribe, comment, and continue to grow with us.
Yes. And
Descriptions is and everything shows us our links and everything. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. Like our videos.
yeah.
We
And
definitely like those.
We're on Facebook. We're on
Twitter,
Instagram.
MySpace.
Also,
Christian Mingle.
what? Anyway, Yeah, make sure you follow us on Instagram. Make sure you follow us personally if you like. If you want to make a conversation with us, go right ahead.
Leave feedback.
We leave feedback. You know, we like it.
Yeah, we're people just like you guys.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, and for future episodes, if like we always say, give us feedback on what topics. If there's a certain team, a certain sport that you want us to dive deep on in a certain topic. Let's say you're like the best team from the 90s in football, blah, 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 whatever. Just let us know. We're going to write that down. And when we have more time to actually dive into that, when it's
Give
not
out comparisons and everything.
Yeah, get some facts down, or when it's not that busy of a week where we only have like 10 minutes to actually give you an update, then we'll have an episode specifically diving into that. So any feedback is always welcome. So
and don't feel discouraged because it could be just as interesting as it is to you to us too.
yes.
So all the more.
Yeah, and even if it's as strange as you want us to talk about a certain player because of blah, 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 if you let us know and give us a specific reason why, we would love to go deep and find facts and make that topic interesting. So,
Alrighty.
So-
And I think that's a wrap, guys.
all right, peace out, everybody.
Peace.
So, if you want to subscribe, just hit this bad boy up here, that big fat rhino. If you want the newest video, to the right. If you want the recommended, to the left. And then, of course, our personal dick pic.
pic.
Yep, right below. So, thank you for joining us once again, and we hope to see you next week. So, peace out.
Peace.